His professional record, 39 victories, including 29 knockouts with 1 draw. From Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World, Saul Canelo
Stepped on the scale. He weighed in at an official 145.5 pounds. Started from the bottom now. He enters the ring. An undefeated 3-division pound-for-pound king with 33 victories. 24 of those victories coming by way of KO. The former lightweight, former undisputed super lightweight, and tonight, making the first defense of his WBO welterweight championship of the world. Born, bred, and repping Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Crawford.
Canelo Alvarez has not faced as educated.
Trying to come with a left up and lay on that left side. Punching between punches and a flush.
We'll try to hurt him here.
Another big right hand by Canelo. The right hand leading.
The boxing world just got hit with its biggest bombshell of the year. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is officially happening. But this isn't just another fight. It's a legacy-defining clash that could change the sport forever. On one side, you have Canelo, a 4-division world champion and the face of boxing. On the other, Terence Crawford, the undefeated welterweight king, daring to jump up 3 weight classes in pursuit of greatness. With so much on the line, one burning question remains. Who's really taking the bigger risk? And could this showdown become an even bigger spectacle than Canelo's legendary battle against Floyd Mayweather? Let's dive into it. Before we jump in, do me a quick favor. Like this video and subscribe. 98% of you watch without subscribing, and it helps the channel out a ton. Done? Awesome. Let's get into it. The stage is officially set for what could be the most significant boxing event of the decade. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is locked in for September at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And this isn't just another blockbuster, it's a clash with historic stakes. 2 of boxing's most decorated champions, fighting not just for titles but for their place in the history books. Allegiant Stadium, famous for hosting massive sporting events and concerts, can pack over 60,000 fans, the perfect arena for a fight of this magnitude. Las Vegas has long been the heartbeat of boxing's biggest nights, and this bout carries the same kind of electric buzz that surrounded Canelo's iconic 2013 fight with Floyd Mayweather. That fight smashed records, generating a mind-blowing $150 million in revenue and pulling in over 2 million pay-per-view buys. It made Mayweather the sport's undisputed superstar and served as a defining moment in Canelo's early career, his only clear-cut loss. Now, more than a decade later, Canelo stands as the face of boxing, and Crawford is stepping up, aiming to do what Mayweather did: beat the Mexican icon under the brightest lights. With 2 undisputed champions from dramatically different weight classes colliding, the intrigue around this fight is off the charts. The big question: could this fight surpass Canelo versus Mayweather in revenue, global attention, and historical significance? Many boxing insiders believe it just might. Because when you combine a legacy-defining matchup, a pound-for-pound showdown, and the sheer audacity of Crawford's move, you get a recipe for something truly historic. Terence Crawford's decision to move up in weight has created one of the most compelling storylines boxing has seen in years. His audacious leap has captured the imagination of hardcore fight fans and casual viewers alike. On the business side, the buzz around this fight is already shattering expectations. With streaming and pay-per-view revenues stronger than ever, industry insiders believe this bout could rival, or even surpass, the financial benchmarks set by Floyd Mayweather's biggest fights. Crawford's surging star power combined with Canelo's established global following makes this a marketing dream. If the promotion is strong, the ticket sales explosive, and the fight delivers on the hype, This could be the event that redefines the modern era of boxing. Initially, Canelo Alvarez wasn't interested in fighting Terence Crawford. Facing a smaller fighter moving up 3 weight classes seemed unnecessary, maybe even unfair. From Canelo's perspective, he had already secured his place among boxing's all-time greats, conquering multiple weight divisions, beating champions from different generations, and becoming the undisputed super middleweight king. Meanwhile, Crawford was dominating at 147 pounds, but the jump from welterweight to 168 pounds was massive. When asked about the possibility of the fight in early interviews, Canelo brushed it off, citing the drastic size difference. But something changed. The demand became undeniable. Fans wanted it. Broadcasters saw the potential. Promoters saw dollar signs. And Canelo, ever the savvy businessman, recognized the opportunity in front of him. If there's one lesson he learned from his 2013 bout with Floyd Mayweather, it's that legacy fights don't just make history, they make massive money. As talks gained traction, the scale of what was unfolding became clear. This wasn't just another fight. It was a shot at creating something even bigger than Canelo versus Mayweather. A fight that could shatter financial records in the age of streaming and global broadcasts. The possibility of surpassing $150 million in revenue and 2 million pay-per-view buys suddenly didn't seem so far-fetched. The spectacle of 2 undisputed champions from vastly different weight classes clashing on boxing's grandest stage became a promoter's dream. And once Canelo saw the overwhelming fan interest, the media frenzy, and the sheer magnitude of the moment, he knew he couldn't walk away. But for Canelo, this fight is about more than just a payday. It's about legacy. If he beats Crawford, he further cements his place atop the sport, silencing any lingering doubts about his dominance and skill. It would be another generational talent conquered, another chapter in his legendary career. However, if he loses, everything changes. Critics will question whether Canelo can truly handle the slick, technical elites, just as they did after his losses to Floyd Mayweather and Dmitry Bivol. A loss would put his carefully built legacy under intense scrutiny. That's why now, instead of dismissing the fight, Canelo is embracing it, fully confident and all in. He's even gone on record saying this bout could be bigger than his fight with Mayweather, not just financially, but in its lasting impact on boxing history. For Crawford, this isn't just about moving up. It's about making one of the boldest leaps in modern boxing history. Jumping from 147 to 168 pounds is a massive risk, a jump few fighters have successfully made. Historically, even the sport's greatest champions struggled when climbing multiple weight classes. But Crawford believes his unique blend of speed, skill, and adaptability will allow him to pull off the impossible. For him, it's not about collecting another belt. It's about immortality. If Crawford defeats Canelo, he won't just become a 5-division world champion, joining icons like Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Thomas Hearns. He'll have done so by toppling a dominant champion at a weight far above his natural class. Unlike Mayweather, who carefully navigated strategic weight jumps, Crawford is taking a direct shot at the undisputed king of a much heavier division. This is about more than belts, money, or titles. It's about legacy. It's about taking his place among the greatest fighters to ever lace up a pair of gloves. Crawford himself said it best, "If I win this fight, it solidifies me as an all-time great." But the question remains, can he really pull it off? Will skill be enough? Crawford's boldest test yet for Terence Crawford. This fight is about more than just belts or a big payday. It's about legacy. He's already cemented himself as one of the greatest welterweights of all time. But beating Canelo Alvarez? That would elevate him into a realm reserved for the absolute legends of the sport. Crawford understands exactly what's at stake, and has made it clear, if I win this fight, it solidifies me as an all-time great. But the question remains, will skill alone be enough to overcome the overwhelming physical challenge? Crawford has never fought at 168 pounds. And history shows that even the most technically brilliant fighters often struggle when giving up size, reach, and raw strength. He won't just be facing a naturally bigger man. He'll be up against an opponent known for his iron chin, punishing body shots, and a relentless, walk-you-down style that wears fighters down over 12 brutal rounds. Canelo's ability to cut off the ring and impose his physicality has frustrated even the best in the world. If Crawford can't keep him at bay, it could turn into a long, punishing night. Still, Crawford's confidence isn't just talk. It's built on a career of defying expectations. Time and time again, he's taken on top-tier opponents and dismantled them with surgical precision. His demolition of Errol Spence Jr., a fight many expected to be 50-50ths, ended up being a masterclass, a one-sided beatdown that shocked the boxing world. But now, the stakes are higher and the mountain steeper. With the world watching, predictions are flying, debates are raging, and boxing fans are more divided than ever. Some believe Crawford's unmatched skill set will allow him to outclass Canelo. Others argue that the sheer size and strength of Canelo will simply be too much to overcome. Even the experts can't agree. Dmitry Bivol, the WBA light heavyweight champion and the last man to hand Canelo a loss, knows better than most what it takes to beat him. Yet even Bivol has serious doubts about Crawford's chances. He points to the massive weight jump, warning that Crawford may struggle to carry his power and durability into the super middleweight division. It's not just about skills, Bivol explained. It's about strength, endurance, and how your body reacts at a higher weight. He even advised Crawford to take more time to acclimate to 168 pounds before facing a natural super middleweight, especially one like Canelo, who has even fought as high as 175. Bivol's words raise a crucial question. Can Crawford, a fighter who has spent his career between 135 and 147 pounds, really handle the physical demands of battling a proven champion at 168? But not everyone is doubting Crawford. Rising star Shakur Stevenson, one of boxing's sharpest minds and most technically gifted fighters, believes Crawford will dominate and do it with ease. Stevenson, known for his elite boxing IQ and defensive brilliance, sees a clear path to victory. Canelo's never faced someone like Bud. Crawford is too sharp, too smart, too slick, Stevenson said. He even boldly predicted that Crawford would make Canelo look average. The divided experts and the risk before the storm. Some see Terence Crawford making easy work of Canelo Alvarez, pointing to Canelo's struggles against technical, defensive-minded fighters in the past, like Floyd Mayweather and Dmitry Bivol. Shakur Stevenson's confidence in Crawford isn't blind hype either. Throughout his career, Crawford has shown an almost supernatural ability to adjust mid-fight, break opponents down, and close the show in spectacular fashion. But even for a generational talent like Crawford, is this challenge simply too big? Former cruiserweight world champion and respected boxing analyst Johnny Nelson isn't so optimistic. While he acknowledges Crawford's greatness at welterweight, Nelson believes the physical gap will be too much to overcome. Size matters. You can't just ignore it, Nelson warned. He emphasized that Canelo has been systematically dismantling naturally bigger, stronger men at 168 pounds, and he doubts that Crawford's speed and skills alone will be enough to neutralize Canelo's relentless body attack, pressure, and knockout power. This divide among experts highlights just how monumental this fight truly is. On one hand, Crawford's talent, precision, and genius-level ring IQ make him a real threat to anyone, regardless of size. His ability to switch stances, dissect opponents, and control the tempo is second to none. If anyone can defy the odds, it's him. But the physical reality remains. Moving up 21 pounds from his original weight class is no small task. And Canelo Alvarez is no ordinary opponent. He's a battle-tested champion who has stood toe-to-toe with some of boxing's biggest punchers, taking their best shots and breaking them down. But before Canelo can even fully focus on Crawford, there's one more major obstacle in his path: William Skull. Canelo is set to defend his undisputed titles against Skull on May 3rd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. On paper, it looks like a routine title defense. But in reality, the stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just about keeping his belts. It's about keeping the Crawford superfight alive. One misstep, one off night, and everything could come crashing down. Skull, an undefeated Cuban-German contender with a 20-0 record, may not have faced elite competition, but that's what makes him dangerous. He has nothing to lose and everything to gain. A win over Canelo would instantly launch him into superstardom and destroy the sport's most anticipated fight. And make no mistake, fighters like Skull often come in the best shape of their lives, ready to risk it all for a shot at history. For Canelo, the pressure isn't just to win, it's to dominate. Anything less will fuel the critics who say age, wear and tear, and complacency are creeping in. Even a sloppy or sluggish win could raise questions. Is Canelo still the king of 168? Or is the window beginning to close? And Crawford will be watching very closely. Canelo has been here before. He's defended titles while lining up massive fights ahead, and has carried the weight of boxing on his shoulders for over a decade. But this situation is different. Meanwhile, Terence Crawford sits in a unique position. Many would argue that he's in a win-win. If he loses, he dared to be great. He challenged a bigger man, 3 divisions up. His legacy as a dominant welterweight champion would stay intact. But if he not only loses, but gets dominated? If Canelo walks through his punches, bullies him around the ring, and makes it look easy, the conversation around Crawford's career could shift. Doubters would emerge. They would question whether he was truly as dominant as he appeared, or if he simply thrived in weight classes where he had physical advantages. And just like that, history could be rewritten. The stakes are higher than ever, but there's a dangerous flip side for Terence Crawford. If he not only loses, but gets dominated, if Canelo walks through his punches, bullies him, and imposes his will, the narrative around Crawford's greatness could take a serious hit. Doubters would claim he was only dominant because he stayed in divisions where he had a physical advantage. Some would even begin to question whether Crawford's undefeated record was bolstered by a lack of truly elite opponents in their prime. Could losing to Canelo cause fans to rethink how great Terence Crawford really was? That's the brutal beauty of legendary matchups. They don't just crown winners, they redefine careers. Think Sugar Ray Leonard moving up to face Marvin Hagler. Think Manny Pacquiao crashing through 8 weight divisions, proving that size isn't everything. Could Crawford be next in line to shock the world? Because make no mistake, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford isn't just another blockbuster fight. It's a battle that could alter the course of boxing history. It's the best versus the best. A fight that will either cement Canelo's dominance once and for all, or elevate Crawford to the rarest heights of greatness. If Canelo wins, he fortifies his status as the face of boxing, the undisputed king. But if Crawford pulls off the impossible, it might go down as the greatest upset in modern boxing. So now the question is simple. Who have you got? Is this Canelo's fight to lose? Or will Terence but Crawford silence the doubters, overcome the odds, and prove once and for all that skill beats size? Drop your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to Boxing is Here for the latest updates, fight breakdowns, and expert analysis, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload.